What is going on, YouTube? Dad with a bike, and we are out running errands today. It is nice out, so I've got a few things I gotta go do. Gotta run to the Porsche dealer, get a new key for my daughter's Porsche, and then I need to run to Cycle Gear and get some stuff from Cycle Gear. So I figured that while we were out running errands, I would take a hot minute and talk to you all about a long-term review on this MC Cruise control. It is a lifesaver, so stick around and I'm going to tell you all about it. I've owned it for a while now, since June of last year, so we'll break this down and we'll talk about all the greatness, some of the pain it's caused. Okay, so some time ago I did an install for the MC Cruise, and I also did a slight review on the MC Cruise kind of right after I got it. But I tell you what, let me break down the MC Cruise and why I got it to begin with. Now, I'm a knucklehead. I'm not like every other Indian Scout Bobber owner out there. I actually tour on this bike. I take this bike all over the place. If you watch any of my videos, I talk about it all the time. I'm always going someplace. And in my current job, I go back and forth to Houston from Austin quite a bit, and it was kind of sucking because I make that commute on a motorcycle. And going that far without being able to have cruise control was irritating. And I had already gone through a handful of throttle locks, like the Atlas throttle lock. I went through like 2 or 3 of those dang things because they kept breaking on me because I used them a lot. And I said, man, I got to find a more permanent solution. So I did. Came across the MC Cruise guys, and they did have an official, real honest-to-goodness cruise control for the Indian Scout Bobber, which is this guy right here. I just looked down and noticed that I had no gas, so I had to cut a U-turn and go hit a gas station because where we're going, there's no real gas stations close by, and I'd probably run out of gas. And I'm not really interested in testing out how far this thing will go before it runs out of gas. I just don't want to do that. But as Snoop Dogg would say, back to the lecture at hand. Now, I've used the crap out of this MC Cruise, and I will tell you up front, if you want the TLDR, my opinion is if you ride the Indian Scout Bobber or the Indian Scout, because it works for the Indian Scout, you ride those bikes any distance or you do any highway riding, I promise you, you will benefit massively from this cruise control. I love it. I stand behind it. I recommend people get it. It's a great modification for the bike. You can get different configurations for how it hooks up to the, to your handlebars, but oh my God, is it just a lifesaver. But how does it work? Well, it works just like any other cruise control does, really. It's turned on, so I can set it, voila, see, we're on cruise. I can excel and I can decel, all that good stuff. It cancels by hitting the brake, whether it's the front brake or the back brake, it does cancel it. Grabbing the clutch will not cancel it, so that's a little, bit of an FYI. So if you've ever worked a cruise control in a car, you can work this one. It's pretty easy. Now the installation on it was fairly straightforward. It was a little bit cumbersome. Actually setting it and getting it tuned in correctly was the most cumbersome piece. But the installation was pretty great. The instructions they send are great. I'll throw some stuff up there, for back when I did that install if you guys are interested. But y'all are really here for the long-term review. I've done thousands of miles with this thing. And I have told you the great things about it already. Super easy. Vastly increases your comfort and enjoyment when you're out riding long distance. But it didn't come without headaches. So let's talk about the 2 situations that I had with this thing where I thought my world was just effed. So the first time, I'm literally flying down the freeway. I don't know, I'm doing 85 miles an hour or something like that. Cruise control is set, and I'm just chilling, enjoying myself. Now, what kind of Charlie Foxtrot we got going on here? Anyway, all of a sudden, out of the blue, it literally just turns off, and my cruise is just gone. And so, of course, the bike slows down. I'm like, what the hell happened? So I go to the next exit, pull off, and while I'm pulling off, I'm trying to, turn it back on. I'm trying to figure out what in the hell is going on with this thing and why it's not working. But nothing. So I got all the way off, pulled into a gas station, turned the bike off. I let it sit there for a couple of minutes as I'm contemplating what I want to do. And I said, I'll just turn it back on and we'll see. I turned the bike back on, turned the power on, and bam, lo and behold, started working just fine. So that was weird, and I thought, oh, that's unnerving. I wonder how many times that's going to happen. And that was literally the one and only time it has ever happened. Never happened since then. I've never had that problem. Now, the second issue that happened to me, I'm riding down the road, and it was kind of a bumpy road, and all of a sudden my check engine light came on, and no matter how hard I cranked the throttle, no matter what, I would do, I was not going to go any faster than 50 miles an hour. That freaked me straight the hell out. Now, luckily, I'm kind of mechanically inclined, so I sort of knew what it was. I sort of knew that it had something to do with the throttle positioning sensor, because that just seems like an interesting behavior where no matter how hard I crack the throttle, regardless of what gear I'm in, the fastest I'm going to go is 50. So that to me told me something's up with throttle positioning. That led me to believe that something got jacked up between the MC Cruise and my throttle, and of course the position, because the MC Cruise itself, there's a connector where it bypasses or it intersects with your throttle positioning sensor, because it's got to know, right? My throttle is here, set the cruise, like it's got to know that stuff. So I pulled over, took the fairing off, looked at everything, and the best that I could tell, it was all because some wiring was loose, because I checked all the connections, I undid them, kind of wiped them off, reconnected them, started the bike, engine light was still on, so I ran through the clear code, Nintendo Contra thing that you do to clear code, threw everything back on, and then took off. Everything was fixed, everything was back to normal, and I had no more issues. I was heading to a friend's house anyway, so when I got there, I took everything all back off, and then I went through and kind of re-zip tied some things. Things were loose, bouncing around or something. Anyway, ever since then, though, I've had zero problems. So those are the only two issues that I have ever had with this thing, and I've not had them since they've happened. So my advice to you, if you get this, is make sure that you've got all your connections set properly and that they're nice and tight. So to sum it all up, I think this is a fantastic purchase. You can buy them from MC Cruise. You should go check them out. They're a great company. Super awesome customer service. They respond to any questions. As a matter of fact, I have a new part that's coming, because when I ordered this one without the ECU dongle. I was like, meh, I don't need it. But now I want to remount my PV3 tuner on my handlebars, and I can't because this plugs into the ECU port. I shot them an email, and they responded back. They're like, oh yeah, no problem. You can actually buy this part for $45. And so they helped me out. I got the part. It's coming, so we'll be able to reroute everything, and I'll be able to have my PV3 tuner up here once again, which will be super awesome. So, great company, great product. This thing works, I promise you, and I highly recommend it. And if you stayed to the end of this video, I appreciate you. Do me a favor, jump to one of these other playlists, or go check out this other video. Keep on watching the channel, and y'all be safe. Y'all be kind to one another. All right, we'll see you. Peace.